Hi guys, welcome back to Grid for Girls, and today we have Abby on here, who's an amazing new guest, and we got some of you guys on Instagram to ask us some questions, so make sure you go over there and give us a follow so you can take part in the next video. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and like the video. Enjoy!
Okay, so if we ask the first question, if you want to just introduce yourself, just in case anybody doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm Abby Fulbrook. I'm 17. I'm a content creator, as now known as. I've got about 8,200 followers on TikTok. I'm a student currently studying economics, business, geography, and dance. I'm looking to go to uni next year, and I want to work in Formula One day, and I want to inspire other women to work in F1 as well.
Okay, thank you. Right. So that covers the one question, which was what do you study? So the main question that everybody wants to know was what your main goal is your main dream job in Formula One.
Dream job. Well, there's a realistic dream job and there's an aspirational dream job. So the aspirational one is probably team manager, Toto, Casino Toto Wolf. But that is obviously one that I would love to have. But then obviously one I'm working towards now is in the legal side of F1, so sort of contracts, and there's so much legal stuff behind motorsport. It's insane, and I'm really finding that interesting at the moment. So some sort of legal contract thing, I don't know.
I think everybody's dream would be to be the next Toto Wolff.
Literally.
Who wouldn't? Okay.
Yeah.
Next question is, who was your biggest inspiration getting into motorsports?
Biggest inspiration. I think the biggest inspiration in motorsport was probably Claire Williams. Because I can't really say much because she's just amazing. She juggled her family and racing all at once, and it's just a huge inspiration for women out there. But it's such a shame that she's not there now, because people don't see that, and younger people getting into Formula One won't know unless they look back into history. So, but then also probably the person that got me into F1 was my dad, because he is an ex racing driver, so he's all about motorsport. So my whole life was dedicated to I need to go and get some tires this weekend. I'm racing this weekend. Okay, trophies everywhere, so yeah.
I think that is the coolest, when you have family that love it just as much.
It really is. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, have you ever been to a race, and if so, what was the best part about it?
I've never been to an F1 race. You won't believe it. I was supposed to go to Abu Dhabi last year as my first one, but it didn't happen because of COVID. So yeah, that's sad.
It's been such a fun race to go to.
Don't even. I mean, I've been to Abu Dhabi a few times for a holiday at the hotel that's on the racetrack, and it's just my favorite place ever. And I was supposed to go there for the race, but it's okay. I'm going to Silverstone this year, hopefully. Fingers crossed that happens. But I've never been to an F1 race before, but I have been to a lot of my dad's races. So I've been in the paddock at Silverstone on the pit wall with the headphones. So.
That is going to be I would absolutely love to be at the pit walls watching the cars fly past. It would be so much fun.
It's such an amazing experience. Yeah, no, I was quite young when I did it, and I think my dad was racing in 24 hours, and I had the headphones on, and I had to tell him to lift and coast because I didn't have enough fuel left. And he was not very happy about it, and none of his team didn't want to tell him, so they were like, "Oh, Abby, you can tell him," and I was like, "Okay." Yeah, but I'm trying to broaden my channel, not just to Formula One, but motorsport as well. Women in motorsport, not women in Formula One, women in motorsport. Because my dad obviously watches other things like Porsche. He's actually driver coach for the Porsche Super Cup this year, and he's got tickets to Monaco next week. So I'm not jealous at all. It's okay. So he watches a lot of different things. So I'm very broad on my motorsport sort of thing, not just F1. So when people tell me I'm a fake fan, I'm like, right, okay, yeah. I look in my living room, there's 50 trophies to tell you I'm not.
Honestly, it's the worst comment when they're like, oh, you're a fake fan, and then they kind of ask you a question that you know the answer to, and then you ask them and they haven't got a clue. Like,
it's like, I know more than you, shush.
When the comments are like, you only watch it for the drivers, and I'm like, really?
Like, no.
like, that would be such a waste of my weekend if I was just watching it to see them. Like,
Exactly. I've talked about it with a couple of girls as well, and it's like you can't even see the drivers when they're driving. Like, they're literally wearing like police clothes and helmets. It's like, how am I supposed to watch it for them?
Like,
Not am I.
Like, actually watching it for the drivers. Like, if it's like one of the drivers, like Nikita Mazepin, like, he doesn't get shown unless he's actually spun. So
a lot of my favorite drivers you don't really see, because obviously they focus on like Lewis and Max and the battles happening at the front, so you wouldn't see them anyway.
No.
So
yeah, it's a shame that, really, but that happens in all sort of motorsports, you know. It's always number 1 and 2 and the front runners, and that you never get the media of the lower down ones, which is a bit sad, but you know.
Well, talking about drivers, who's one of your favorite past drivers?
Oh, that's a good one. There's quite a few to think about, isn't there? Probably Nelson Piquet. Oh, and Frank Williams as well. Frank Williams, definitely Frank Williams, because of his heritage and like how he just made the team and stuff. Like, I read their book and it's incredible. Like, it's just incredible what they had to go through, and then obviously because Claire was inherited it, and sort of like, yeah, I definitely Frank Williams, I think, actually, yeah.
Okay, so what was your pinpoint moment that you decided that was something you wanted to do and you wanted to get into motorsport?
Because you see, I watched motorsport from a young age, so I didn't start like 10. I did start when I was like born. Like, my dad was driving when I was born, so I was held on the podium when I was a little baby, so you know, I was sort of like born into it. So but I didn't think about working in motorsport. It was never on the front of my mind. I wanted to be a dancer up until the age of 15, and I'm 17 now, so it wasn't long ago that I realized, right, I want to work in F1. So I think I watched like a race one day, and then something was like, there was like women in the team, and I was thinking, oh, I can actually do that, you know. And then I started going to my dad's races a lot more and seeing a lot of like girls, like daughters of my dad's friends, working and doing all the timings and all stuff, and I thought, oh, I want to do that. That's really interesting, you know. So I think it must have been 2 years ago. I fully was like, right, I'm doing motorsport now. I'm not doing dance.
I think that shows people that like you don't have to start at a young age. If it's something you're thinking about now, just kind of just go for it. And yeah,
definitely, yeah. You don't need to start at like 12. I get people commenting on my TikToks like, oh, what do I do for GCSEs? It's like, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter what degree you do either, you know. It's your qualities. I mean, obviously it does matter what degree you have if you want to be a mechanic, but like, there's so many different opportunities in the sport in general, so it's really, you don't need to start at a young age. You just need to work hard, get good grades, and then
Well, since you were saying about like your dad, like how he was driving and like how he works at the tracks and things, like what is your best memory of like being there and what you've like seen?
Yeah, that's a good one. Best memory, there's quite a few actually. I think my dad was racing one day, and he won, I think, and they were doing an interview outside his car, and for, I think it must have been Sky, or I don't know, and I was stood next to the car with him, and he had his arm around me, but they cut me out obviously because it was just him, so you just got his arm, and then now on the promo video of my dad, they show that interview and you can just see him like that, but not me. And then every time I show someone, I'm like, no, that was me. I was stood there. All right, okay, that's me. I'm famous. But I think that was one. And also when I had the headphones, like, God, that was an amazing experience. It was insane. Oh, they were like when my dad was racing, but sort of like motorsport experiences. I have to say my favorite ever experience was when I went to Abu Dhabi, must have been 2 years ago, Christmas, and I got a track experience with my dad's friend around Abu Dhabi track, and I went in an Aston Martin, I think, around the track at like 300 mile an hour and in a drift car as well. So that was an amazing experience. Like, wow, that was amazing.
On that note, what is your favorite track? I'm going to guess possibly Abu Dhabi, but
favorite track in general, as in
Yeah.
the place, Abu Dhabi, because I've been there so many times, it's just amazing. Favorite track for like racing, you know, overtaking and all that sort of stuff, probably Silverstone, because of its heritage, because of all the, you know, the chances to overtake and how amazing the weekend is all the time every year.
Yeah.
So
I would love to go to Silverstone. I'm hoping at some point we'll manage it.
definitely. Well, if you go, then just tell me and I'll see you there.
Well, one of the questions is, what is your favourite road car?
Road car. Well, I mean, I'm a little bit biased. It's probably got to be a Polo because I've got a Polo. No, it's really not. God, it's so slow. Anyway, probably McLaren. I was walking through London the other day and there was a McLaren. I think it was like a 2020 McLaren. Oh, so nice. God, wouldn't want one of that. I wouldn't want one. Oh, I do love them. Oh, I do love Teslas as well. My dad's got a Tesla and they are mega.
I love a Tesla. There is one in my area and it drives past me every time I'm waiting for the bus for college, and every time I'm like, oh look.
Yeah, no, they are insane. They are really good. So yeah, probably one of those.
Oh, okay. So what are you doing to achieve your dream? Like, other than like A levels and things, what are you kind of working towards?
Well, yeah, A levels. I'm obviously studying really hard to get into uni. Work experience. I'm doing a lot of work experience. Well, I haven't got any yet, but I'm looking to sort of like follow my dad around and do a lot of track work experience to get used to it. And I'm obviously pursuing social media like TikTok and stuff and YouTube. I want to start getting my YouTube a lot bigger because the bigger I get it, my dad's got a lot of contacts, so I can do like garage tours and all that sort of stuff, and I can sort of like promote smaller teams in motorsport. So that's something I aim to do, and I aim to get quite a big following on that. But I do it obviously for the pure enjoyment. I don't do it for money, and I won't get money from TikTok at 10k anyway because I'm not 18. So that shows you that I'm doing it for fun. So yeah, but that, and just want to be happy, enjoying life. That's the aim.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I was like, when you commented on my one TikTok, you were one of the first people that came up on my like Formula One TikTok. So it was quite cool. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so cute.
First, like when I end up on like the F1 side of TikTok, you're definitely one of like the first people I actually followed.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you.
Well, Maudie wants one question in particular.
She asks this is the most random question, but she asks it to like everybody.
Every time she said, "Hey Abby, what is your favourite colour of toothbrush?"
Favourite colour of toothbrush? Well, probably have to be blue. I have to admit, I do like the blue. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's most of the questions.
Yeah, I feel like this has been quite short. We've kind of.
Yeah, it's been quite short.
Oh, I do have one. What is your main piece of advice for any young girls trying to get into the sport?
I've got two. I'm going to cheat and do two. Ignore the hate. There is a lot of hate, and I get a lot of hate. Ignore it, you know, and prove them wrong. That's definitely one thing I would say, because some people can get really take it to heart, you know, but you can't. And also just don't address it. Like if you get hate, just don't address it, just ignore it, because then it will go away. And if you address it, it probably won't go away as much, unless, I mean, I have addressed it sometimes, but yeah, it just depends. And work hard, play harder is my motto, you know. I work very hard and play hard as well. So don't burn yourself out, but work hard enough to get where you want to be. Yeah. I can think of one to the mind. I can think of one. What do you think about the new sprint qualifying?
I'm not a fan, but I think it's good to try new things. I do think it'll be quite interesting to see like how it works, but it's definitely not my favorite thing ever. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
exactly. I can't really say, because like it's not like it's something completely new like in the sport. Like it's more Formula One new, but it's been like Formula 2 and things like they've done it before, so it's not like something completely new, but I think people are more annoyed at the fact that it's new for Formula One.
Yeah.
Happened before, so people aren't going to be used to it.
Yeah, definitely. I think taking away the Q2 and the Q3 and the Q1 sort of thing, I think that's what people watch it for. People watch it, to feel the excitement. Oh, is he going to get into Q2 rather than just doing a full race, But then I don't think it's a bad thing. But I just think people, like I'm going to Silverstone and it's sprint qualifying, so I'm like, right, okay, well I'm not watching an actual qualifying on my first race. Okay, great. Yeah.
I think that was something that a lot of people were gutted about, that it was kind of being introduced like now to a few races, and people who were going to those races were a bit gutted.
Yeah, definitely. You pay £400 and you get to see that instead of what you paid for. So yeah.
Yeah, well, like people kind of watch like the whole weekend so that they can see like their favorite driver and see if they get into like like whatever ones, and like people like George Russell when they get into like Q2 and things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
the most exciting part of the weekend.
Yeah. We'll see how far George gets. I love seeing that.
That's what I live for. I live for seeing that.
I like a lot of people. They watch it. They're like more interested in the race, which I do understand. But I love qualifying because it is, it kind of sets the tone for the weekend. I just love to see qualifying. It's like my favorite thing. I make sure I'm not working at that time to see it.
Always got to be live as well. You have to watch live qualifying. That makes it 10 times better.
You really do. Yeah. I think the qualifying is one of the most important things of the weekend. And like post race as well, like the interviews and what the drivers think. Because like I love the race. Don't get me wrong, but I just love if something's happened and you hear about like different drivers' points of views. I think that's the best part as well.
Well, do you have any like wild predictions for next weekend for Monaco?
Wild prediction. Well, I'm pretty sure my dad has sat in a grandstand ticket watching it. Cheap. God.
I would be so jealous.
Yeah, don't even get me started. We're not talking this weekend. That's it. I'm out. But Lewis, I think. Oh, Max possibly. He's really quite good around Monaco, but then again, Lewis is just like good all around. I mean, Lewis is just Lewis. So I don't know, but it's between Lewis and Max this year, and I think the sort of like what's the word? Competitiveness between those two is quite high this year, especially because Red Bull up their game, and now they're like sort of faster than Mercedes in quite a lot of places on track. So it should be interesting.
As much as I want Lewis to get that 8th title, I think it's quite interesting to see this year how close it is. And, Max he's got a chance. He is fighting Lewis at the minute.
Yeah, he is. It's good. Lando's doing quite well as well. He's like really high up the championship table. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Making a fight with him and Charles, like in the next few races, definitely.
I am very happy with how Ferrari do. It's quite nice to see them back a little bit higher up.
Yeah, because the Ferraris were quite low down, weren't they, quite a few seasons ago, and now they're sort of starting to get up a little bit more, so should be good. I miss that. I miss the old Charles winning the race,
What is your I don't know the way to word this, hang on a second, like the shock of this season so far, but in a bad way, if you know what I mean? So like the team you were expecting to do better, I guess.
Oh yeah, yes. Probably Aston Martin. I was looking. I thought they would do really well because I was thinking, they've got Vettel and Stroll, but Vettel and also their car, and the fact that Toto's also got shares in Aston Martin, and there's a lot going round. I thought they would do really well, but they haven't done as well this year. But
I think I was expecting more from Aston Martin, especially with Seb there. I was hoping for more, I guess, too, for Seb.
I was hoping for him to get in like third, or like I'm in third, but it didn't happen.
Maybe they can have like a one-off kind of outstanding race at some point.
Hopefully.
Oh, there was one that says, why did you start watching F1? I guess we kind of answered that, but
just because of my dad, because of he was sat watching it one day and I thought, right, what's this thing? The car's going on a track, and I watched it next weekend and the weekend after. And yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, it is the most random thing to be sat watching every weekend, just cars going around the track every weekend, to explain that to somebody is so weird, you know. But
doesn't know F1, and then they just think it's, you know, cars going around in circles, and I'm like, yeah, no, don't say that line to me. It's really not. It's got a lot more to it than that. Okay.
Yeah, it's more exciting than it sounds. When you try and explain it to somebody, they're like, why do you watch that? But it's so exciting every week, you know.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. I think the community as well, the community on TikTok in general, and in general, sort of is very like sort of like close, and like the women community as well. I found that it's just amazing. I've met so many people like you guys and like other people and stuff that just like motorsport, and they're just pursuing their dreams and stuff, and it's so inspiring, and that's why I do it as well on TikTok and stuff, because everyone's so nice.
Yeah. Like aside from the like hate comments, like the community is like such a nice like thing, and I've met so many lovely people, and when I ask them, I'm like, oh, what is your dream job? And it is just so cool to see like the variety of things people want to do within Formula One, and like I'm like, oh, that is like the coolest thing, like to be able to go eventually, hopefully, and work in Formula One and see all these people. That would be like the best thing, to see everybody, all these people that I've watched like working in Formula One would be the coolest thing ever.
It would be awesome. I can't, like, it's just so cool, especially like if I get there one day and then like I come back and like do more videos for you guys and videos I've done with other people. It's like, whoa, we were here like 5 years ago talking about me wanting to get in F1, and like I am now.
That would be so cool to do another video and be like, you know, with you working there, and then compare the two.
Yeah, well, put it in a diary. I'm down to do it.
I just find it like so cool how like you're one of the first people I had like followed in like the F1 sort of stuff, and now I actually get to come like speak to you. It's just
That's so cute. Oh.
It is so cool to see like, oh, like I followed these people and now I'm like talking to them every day. It's like wild.
So there's like some F1 TikTokers that like I had started following like when I started F1, and now they like actually follow me as well, and I'm like, what?
It's so awesome. I think just like I hate to say it, like, you know, to talk to my followers, but like for people that have like backed me up, you know, from the start and stuff, it's so great to finally meet you and talk to you, like without having to just like, you know, post TikToks for you, you know. It's really great.
Yeah, very glad this one went a bit better.
Yeah.
I said to my mum, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to like film another video if you wouldn't mind not coming into my room. And Mum's like, oh yeah, I finished watching the other video. I was like, no.
My nan does that. She watches my YouTube videos on her TV, and I come downstairs and I'm on the TV. I'm like, no, Nan, stop. No, it's weird.
Well, I was watching your YouTube video the other day, and then I was like, oh, we could have Abbi on. So then I messaged everybody, and they were all like, oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, so cute. Thank you.
And then unfortunately, a bunch of them couldn't make it today, so we've had to do it, 2 of us. But they were all still very excited, so I'm sure they're all going to love watching this video back.
Definitely, that's so cool. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the support as well. Like, it's just amazing.
Well, it has been very, very lovely having you on. I'm very excited to get this edited and posted at some point. Hopefully it'll be up in the next week. Fingers crossed.